Right, we got it. Right, go back to shared screen and then we shall commence. And also I want to shout out to all, because our group's grown immensely, our Telegram group, and I just want to shout out to everybody from the diaspora, the Caribbean, UK that have come in as well as our South African family. It's all much appreciated. It's all one love, and we're coming together so beautifully as one family. So yeah, so we're going to start here, activating the womb of our mother Africa and her diaspora. African Kingdoms, Lumi. So what is the Lumi? That's the first question that is generally on everybody's lips. The Lumi is a central bank digital currency, and it was born and birthed from the Central Solar Reserve Bank of Akompong on the island of Jamaica. And no, it's not a cryptocurrency. It's actually a classical digital currency that's not fiat, it's non-fiat, and it's backed and underwritten by 100 kilowatts of solar energy, pegged by 4 grains of gold, weighing 0.2592 grams. Now, you might also hear or see symbols saying, you know, economic 6 region, or Eco 6, like the logo that's just at the bottom of here. Economic 6 region of Africa. Now, what is the Economic 6 region of Africa? It's a community of states, nations, territories, and realms, and it was established by treaty. Those states, territories, nations, and realms were established by treaty in August the 1st, 2019, forming an economic bloc that we're calling the Economic Eco 6 community, very similar to that of our African counterparts of the community of the West African states called ECOWAS. I'm just going to play a video so everybody can just get an idea and see what it's about. It's only a few minutes, but just to give you some background. I'm praying that it just works. Yeah, it's coming. And you can get a background of what it's about. And I hope you can all hear it as well. It's loading. So the Lumi Africa's global currency.
Our sun. It has been burning for over 4.5 billion years, and yet it is still less than halfway through its life. Worshipped by many civilizations and religions, it is the enabler and sustainer of all life on our world.
Sorry, sister, we can't see the actual video, although we can hear it.
You can't see it. Oh, right. Okay, so one moment. Well, we're going to have to rectify that. I was just about to check and ask if everyone could see it in the chat. Let me just start sharing the screen again, and I have to put it on the video. All right. Yeah, we got it. There we go. Can you see that now? Can everyone see that? Can everyone see the screen now?
Yeah, it's loading.
Yes.
Everyone can see it, right? I'll start.
Yes, we can see. We can see. Thank you.
And a half billion years, and yet.
I don't want anyone to miss anything. Okay, so can we all mute our mics and everyone can hear now? Thank you so much for letting me know. Okay, we're ready. Let's go.
Our sun. It has been burning for over 4.5 billion years, and yet it is still less than halfway through its life. Worshipped by many civilizations and religions, it is the enabler and sustainer of all life on our world. The great continent of Africa. Truly, it is the cradle of life on our planet, and today it is home to many people and cultures. Bathed in sunlight, its jungles, deserts, mountains and plains have given rise to, and support, a rich diversity of wildlife. Africa is also rich in precious metals, minerals, and agricultural resources, which have given rise to the wealth of industries and nations. But this wealth has not been wholly to the benefit of the nations of Africa, as this excerpt, from a speech by Manance Bart Williams, from Sierra Leone, suggests.
One thing that keeps me puzzled, despite having studied finance and economics at the world's best universities, the following question remains unanswered. Why is it that 5,000 units of our currency is worth 1 unit of your currency, where we are the ones with the actual gold reserves?
With all its mineral wealth, plus the abundance of daily sunlight, Africa has the ability to become an economic powerhouse. And this starts with creating a unifying, global non-fiat currency, one with real intrinsic value. Introducing the African Kingdom's Lumi, a non-fiat digital currency that is underwritten by an established unit value, equating to 100 kilowatt-hours of solar energy, at a market value equal to 0.2592 grams of gold, which equates to $15.96 per AK Lumi. The AK Lumi is classic money with the following features. 1. It is a store of value. 2. It is a unit of account.
That's the volume.
The volume's gone off.
Their hydrocarbon-based economies. The AK
So we missed quite a chunk of that.
There we go.
World are not the US dollar or the euro,
Is it that
but
part
the
there?
Kuwaiti dinar, the Bahraini
Yeah,
dinar.
around that part. Thank you.
Go back here. Come on.
It is interesting to note that the most valuable currencies in the world are not the US dollar or the euro, but the Kuwaiti dinar, the Bahraini dinar, and the Omani riyal. This is because these semi-fiat currencies are underpinned by a correlation between their monetary policies and their hydrocarbon-based economies. The AK Lumi, being underpinned by gold and/or renewable solar energy, thus abandons the fiat currency system altogether and establishes its value as a premium currency on the global market, whilst restoring real value to African monetary policy. On the 1st of August 2019, the Economic Community of States, Nations, Territories and Realms of the African Diaspora 6th Region, or ECO6, was established by treaty and ratified by its member states. The ECO6 has become the second largest African institution in the world, after the African Union. The establishment of the ECO6 enables the African diaspora community to actively participate in the economic transformation, trade integration, and emancipation of continental Africa at a global level. The introduction of the AK Lumi as a single global African currency will stimulate unprecedented economic growth and the elimination of debt. As of April 2021, the AK Lumi was being used in some 142 countries, and by the beginning of 2022, it is expected that the adoption and use of the digital currency will become global. The AK Lumi will not only unite Africans across the continent and throughout the diaspora, but will also give them the financial freedom and respect that has been unrighteously usurped for too long. The economic revolution has already begun, and it will ultimately foster enhancements in business, international trade, employment, quality of life, education, health services, technology, communications, and transportation. And so the goal of a prosperous Africa, built by Africans, for Africans, can finally be realized. The African Kingdom's Lumi, bringing unity, self-determination, financial freedom, growth, prosperity, and the elimination of debt to all people of Africa.
Gone again.
Right. I hope everybody was able to hear that. Let me just. Was everybody able to hear that? I just want to make sure.
Rewind the end bit.
Yes.
I don't know what happened there, but anyway, the volume was on. I don't know. but I hope everyone got a deeper understanding of it. I'm about to share my screen again to carry on with the presentation. And apologies for the noise outside. So that was an explanation of what the economic community, one moment, sorry, something happening outside. Wow, very loud.
Are you in New York?
Yeah,
Are you
London,
in New York?
in London, you know, central London.
Are you? Yeah, you're
That's where I am,
okay.
exactly, central London, so it's a bit...
Okay, sounds like you're in like America or something.
Right, so that was the economic community of the 6th region and how it all started and everything and what it is. The next part of the presentation, we're going to be asking the question, who is actually backing the Lumi? Now, we have various organizations here. We have the African Kingdoms Federation, which is the vice president is Empress Sheba Ra III. I would have hoped by now that most of our people would have heard about Empress Sheba Ra III. She is the direct descendant of Empress Sheba Ra I, the one that we were brought up on. Most of us who were brought up as Christians or Catholics would have heard about Sheba, Empress Sheba, who was married to King Solomon and had a child, Menelik I, with King Solomon. This is her direct bloodline, Empress Sheba Ra III. So she set up the African Kingdoms Federation in order to bring together all of the African kingdoms under one unified banner as it was in the beginning, because before the division, the original Congo Conference, shall I say, and then later on the Berlin Conference, Africa was governed, or shall I say that the matriarchy was under one banner, the majority of it, and going down to Asia Minor, Major, it was ruled by this matriarchal bloodline of Sheba Ra I, kings of kings, and all of that. Yeah. So if and especially for our Rasta community, we know about that bloodline, but a lot of us don't really realize that the matriarchal line is still alive and kicking today. So here she is. She's one of the biggest factors in this as well, alongside the creator of the Lumi, our chief Timothy Samaka McPherson, the creator of the Lumi, who the organization, the Economic Community of the 6th region, and it was adopted as legal tender by the African Financial Regulatory Authority through the African Diaspora Central Bank, which Chief Timothy McPherson is actually the president of that bank, which houses the Lumi right now. And the Lumi is one of the most valuable currencies in the world. It's also the legal tender of the state of the African diaspora. And I'm not sure if everybody in here knows what the state of the African diaspora is, but it was a state that was created by, as a result of the African Union recognizing that as a diaspora, there was a need for us to have our own state. So they supported it. I'm going to speak a little bit more about that in a moment, but I'm just going to talk to you about who else is backing the Lumi. I'm going to talk about our very own Lumi Africa, UK Diaspora. This organization that we've come together between the diaspora, representing the UK, Caribbean, the Americas, all of that is part of the diaspora. Come together with our cousins in Africa, specifically South Africa, Tammy Marseille. She's my partner in this, and we came together because we had a similar vision to support our people in being able to access their own currency, which we are all entitled to as a result of this union between the Economic Community 6th region and the African Kingdoms Federation and SOAD. So I'm just going to go back one moment. Again, SOAD, can we post our link to our website? Because if everybody looks at our website, you'll be able to see a link to the state of the African diaspora. It tells you exactly how the state was created, because Prime Minister Tin, he is the Prime Minister of the state of the African diaspora, and Takura, can't remember her surname. I don't want to say the wrong thing, but it's on there. She's the vice president, and it's been specifically, as I said, created for us, by us again, and it speaks to the diaspora specifically, and also assists in empowering people in the diaspora, especially in places like, for example, in the Caribbean, where a lot of our people don't even have access to bank accounts or any ID to even do proper legitimate business or anything like that. The State of the African Diaspora answers to a lot of that, as well as putting back our culture in its rightful place, dealing with artifacts that have been stolen from Africa and things like this, or put into museums. You know how a lot of our artifacts were taken from Africa and the Caribbean and ended up in museums around the world, in the diaspora, in Europe and places like that, in America. So the State of the African Diaspora, I've seen them actively working to do that and assisting with developing communities. But again, as I said, that's something more that we can elaborate on a little bit more on a later date. But right now, I'm just going to carry on with this presentation. There's a link in the chat that can take you to that page via our website. And we're going to look at exactly the current value of the Lumi. How much is your local currency really worth? The currency that we all have, wherever you are in the world. You could be in America, you're in South Africa, Zambia, Nigeria, Ghana, where you have the CD in Ghana, you have the Naira in Nigeria, you have the Delasi in Gambia, you have the Rand in South Africa. We all have different currencies, but in a way, I'd say keep us divided, because they're different currencies. And every time we want to be able to spend in a currency local to wherever we want to go to see our people, we have to go inside one of the institutions of, you know, the fiat currency institutions, and hand over money just to get money that's supposed to be ours, whether it's Rand, CD, Naira, anything. That's what happens. And then once we've spent that money in our local country, it becomes worth nothing, as the young lady said in the video. So hence why the Lumi is a currency that it speaks to all of that. And as it was stated earlier, it's worth US $15.96. And we're going to take it now to, for example, I'll use South Africa as an example, because that's all I've got written down right here, but I've got Trinidad as well. I was going to use as examples. If you look at, or maybe we can do a little bit of interaction here. I'll start off with South Africa, but if you look at the rate of one South Africa Rand is 0.07208 US dollars to one South Africa Rand. Now, one Lumi is equivalent to 250 South Africa Rands. Yeah, I said it. 250 South Africa Rands is one Lumi. In the UK, $1 is 1.41 US dollars is equivalent to £1. My one Lumi is equivalent to £11.50 in the UK. So if you look at that, what does that tell you about the value of the Lumi? I mean, that should tell you something alone. Can anyone in here, if you're from the Caribbean, whichever part you're from in the Caribbean, what is $1 US to your currency? I don't know, just open your mic, one person, or put your hand up if you're from the Caribbean anywhere, and let us know what $1 US is worth in your currency. Right.
Everett from Trinidad.
Oh, Everett.
I represent Maya.money. One TT US dollar is worth $6 and about 93 cents US. $1
US. Right. Now, in order for me to check this, because I actually wrote it down for Trinidad. This is interesting, right? I'm going to stop this for 1 second because I really want to show you this, right? I'm going to end it for a second, but we're going to get back to it, right?
Okay. Hello. Good afternoon. $1 US in Guyana. I'm from Guyana, and $1 US is 200 Guyana dollars.
Right. Okay. I'm just going to highlight something to you here, right? With regard to the Trinidadian, because that's what I've got written down right now. For example, in the Eastern Caribbean, I'm going to tell you this, right? One Lumi is equivalent, like, sorry, someone's trying to, like, blocking the screen. Yeah. One Lumi is equivalent to 43.9 EC dollars. That's in the Eastern Caribbean. Now, the Trinidadian, 1 Lumi is 106.359, right? 106.359, right? Now, what does that tell you? You don't have to answer that, but I just want everyone to understand, right? That says a lot. That says a lot about the value of the currency that we're looking at right here. All right. And I hear a lot of people saying things like, oh, but you know, we can't do anything with it. What can we do with it? Well, I'm going to look at this. In order to answer that question, we're going to look at her African diaspora defined. We're going to define what is the African diaspora. What is it, right? Or where is it, right? We just spoke about the state of the African diaspora because it's basically an amalgamation of member states. What we define now, because of ECO6 and the creation of the economic community of the 6th region, we now can define the diaspora as member states of the economic 6th region. Now that includes the Americas, including the Caribbean. Because when we speak of the Americas, a lot of people think it's just South America, the Spanish-speaking America. No, the Americas include the US and the Caribbean and what we call South America, you know, the mainland islands, countries, Guyana, Suriname, all these different places that are on the land, not in the middle of the sea before the lands became broken up. And then you have the UK, African and Caribbean diaspora. Now in the UK, we're quite, and Europe is quite unique because we have our African brothers and sisters. We live side by side as Caribbean or indigenous people to the Caribbean, whatever you want to call it. We live side by side with our African brothers and sisters on one landmass called the United Kingdom, whichever part of it you are, but we live side by side. So we have a very close relationship in the UK and Europe. As a people, we share the same space in many, many things, whether it's in society, culturally, certain spaces. We have no choice but to share the same spaces. Like, for example, when we're in the UK, if we have a community centre, if there's a big celebration happening, a christening or a wedding, and it's Caribbean people, then the Caribbean people will have access to that building for that particular event. And then you might see a big Nigerian wedding happening the following week, and then the whole of the Nigerian community comes and they use the same building. So we interact very much in these parts of the world as people of the diaspora. So it's very heartwarming to see what the Lumi's done. Literally brought her diaspora back home. Whether it's African or Caribbean, we are all being brought back home to our mother because as a result of us having access to the Lumi. And also I have to mention our indigenous sovereign nations of the Caribbean. They are part of the diaspora, even though they are sovereign and they are indigenous, they are still on that landmass of what we call the economic 6th region. And they are also member states of the economic 6th region. They are signed up as so. We're looking at the population of the region of the Caribbean, and it's split, as you can see here. Obviously, it's been done by certain people who have the powers to define, but it's been split into different regions called the Netherland Antilles, which comprises Aruba, Bonaire, Curacao, and those sections there of the Caribbean you can see just down in the southern part there. And when you move further up, you're moving to the eastern side of the Caribbean and going upwards, southeast, yeah. We have like the Windward Islands, Trinidad, Grenada, St. Vincent, St. Lucia, Martinique, Dominica, Barbados. And we have French-speaking islands as well within in the Leeward Island. Well, Martinique is a French-speaking island. St. Lucia and Dominica, we speak a Creole, but it's got French connotations in it as well. You know, even St. Vincent and Grenada, we all find it interestingly from those regions, we spoke the same Creole or patois, as we call it, in a lot of our lands where we come from. Then we had the Leeward Islands, which are Guadeloupe, Antigua and Barbuda, Montserrat, St. Kitts and Nevis, Saba, Anguilla, St. Martin. We have the Virgin Islands. Then we have the Lesser Antilles, That's part, and then the Greater Antilles, which we call Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, Haiti, or Hispaniola as it was originally called. Then we're going to the west now. We've got Jamaica, Cayman Islands, Cuba, Bahamas. This is what comprises the Caribbean. And the reason why I'm highlighting this is because a lot of us are not aware, especially a lot of our African counterparts are not aware of how the diaspora is made up and the economic sixth region and all the member states. You might see it on paper, but to actually look at it for what it is and see how we're also connected. I mean, as I said, I've said in previous presentations that Jamaica's been taking the lead with rolling out the Lumi, and it's very, very proud that Jamaica's been able to do that. But now there's a call out. This is hence where I'm here as well, and Lumi Africa UK Diaspora. We are here to make sure that it becomes more of a balanced situation where all the Caribbean islands or the populations of the region of the Caribbean and their diaspora in the UK, Europe, wherever they are in the world, become part of this movement. That's why Lumi Africa UK Diaspora is here to ensure this happens. Now, I didn't tell you, that's what I wanted to say. The population of the Caribbean, this is just the Caribbean islands I'm showing you here, is 436,036,174. That is minuscule, I'm sure, compared to the continent of Africa, we know that, but that is what it is now. And then add to that, if you mirror that, double that, because all the people that leave the Caribbean and go to the diaspora would double that figure if we was to have them all in one space, or more than double. But that's what happens. A lot of our people migrate either to other islands or to America, Canada, US, Canada, Europe, and the UK. These are the four main places that our people in the Caribbean migrate to. Not to mention the fact that they go to Africa as well. A lot of our people go to Africa to work for all kinds of reasons. We migrate, just like Africans, we all migrate. Now, if you look at the Americas now, this is a map of the Americas. Have a look at this map now. It's including all the islands that I mentioned, but it goes even wider now. It's taking in the mainland islands of the Caribbean, or lands of the Caribbean, or the Greater Caribbean, shall I call it, because it's still called the Americas. We have Venezuela, for example, which is right next door to Trinidad. We have Colombia, we have Panama, we have Costa Rica, you have Nicaragua, Honduras. And then when you go further west, when you get to the west, you see Cuba, all right? All these very big populations. Florida is even part of this equation, but Mexico is part of this equation. So this is to show you how vast the Lumi, the member states are, right? That's just the waters and the landmass that occupy this part of the water, the Caribbean Sea. And then we have the Atlantic Ocean. The Caribbean Sea meets the Atlantic Ocean in certain places. Certain islands, you can see exactly where it happens. For example, in Dominica, you can see it. When you go to the peak, you can see where the Caribbean Sea meets the division, the piece of land that divides the two. One side's rough and the other side's calm. It's very interesting. It's a beautiful vision, sight to see. But then now the population of the Americas, including the Caribbean, is 1,030,851,330. Now that is the reach that we have, our responsibility as a people, wherever we are in these regions, diaspora people, I'm speaking to you, we have a duty to make sure our people know about what they're entitled to, the economic stimulus of 6.26 Lumi every month until 2023. This is our goal, to make sure that every island, every person of the diaspora is penetrated. And if it means that we start it off in the UK and we get our people in the UK from all the different islands signed up, because they will then speak to their families in the Caribbean or in Africa the same way. And vice versa, it works both ways. People in Africa speak to their families in the diaspora. So this is the reason why I showed this map, because I just wanted everyone to see the vision of how vast this vision is. You know, we've got Africa, we know about Africa, we know about what's been happening with Jamaica, and Jamaica's been basically just topping all polls with regards to you know, registering everybody and everything, but there's so much more to this picture, and we need to be mindful of that. And I'm gonna move forward now. Hold on. The question is, what is the economic stimulus? What is it? Now, the economic stimulus is a global Pan-African economic stimulus, as I just illustrated. That takes into the equation, we've got Africa, the continent of Africa, and Americas. The Americas is actually a continent. If anyone's, I don't know if they're aware, but the actual Americas is a continent, all right? And as I said earlier, it's initiated by the Central Solar Reserve Bank of Jamaica. And each person in Africa and the diaspora from the age of 18 and over are all entitled to this economic stimulus of 6.26 Lumi every single month in a digital wallet, which is housed on the Swiffin platform. It's like our very own bank. The Swiffin platform is our very own bank. And all we need to do to access that, well, one of my colleagues is going to explain that to you on a little bit further, but there's ways that you can access it. You can access it through our website, Lumi Africa UK Diaspora. We have templates set up for you to sign up for your Lumi as and when you're ready. The economic stimulus is here to create wealth and develop us as a people, as communities, and by extension, as nations, yeah, to build partnerships. To build partnerships with each other, not just in our own nations, countries, or states or realms, but across continents. We populate more than one continent, so that we can start trading amongst ourselves with this currency called the Lumi, where there's a formal framework that's been created, as I just said, and it's there to facilitate investment and trade, and that can be done so easily. That's one of the reasons, again, like I said, why I saw it as imperative that I work in partnership with our motherland, Africa, and bring the diaspora home, activate the womb of our mother, assist in that. Because once the womb of Africa is activated, it's inevitable that the diaspora will be activated, her daughter, and us as a people will be activated, and our ability and the opportunities afforded us to grow and develop is activated by this economic stimulus. So how much is this stimulus package worth? It was launched in October 2020 by the Eco6 community simultaneously with the Swiffin platform and the African Kingdoms Federation. It was a simultaneous symbiotic relationship that was launched in October 2020, and the initial rollout of the Lumi was from that date. And from the October 2020, we have access to it until 2023, where we'll be given the monthly deposit, as I've said, of 6.26 Lumi, equivalent to US $100 in a wallet for the next 36 months. Obviously, we're a bit into that 36 months because it was from October, we're now in June. So we're quite a few months in. Now, it's free to register for the Lumi. A lot of people say, oh, how much do you have to pay? How much do you have to pay? You don't have to pay anything to register for the Lumi. The Lumi is absolutely free to register for. It's yours. All you have to do is provide certain information, your ID. It's all stated quite clearly on our website, and our young Xander, when I'm complete here, she'll just go through it a little bit more detail with you about how to access it and how to register. And this registration can take place on your smartphone, your tablet, your computer, or, as I said, via our own bulk registration system that we have with a direct upload that we send directly to the Swiffin platform from our website and everything. So yeah, she'll explain more on that. And some people also ask the question, once they get the Lumi, they ask, how can I buy more Lumi? Now, we have a platform that's going to be launched in July, and my partner, Tammy Marseille, she'll be expounding on that a little bit more when it gets to her part of the presentation. But just to give you a basic idea, it's a money pool. It's kind of like a money pool where we can come together with our Lumi, or with our our fiat actually, because if you may not have a lot of Lumi in your account if you've just started receiving it, but we came up with an initiative. The initial initiative was called Laptops for Lumi. That's something before I became partners with Lumi Africa UK Diaspora. It's something that I came up with in order to support one of our young people in Africa who needed a laptop but couldn't purchase it because we have a marketplace on the Swiffin platform, but he was unable to purchase it, didn't know how he was going to get it. He had so much Lumi because he works and he gets paid in Lumi as well. And he was like, well, can you help me, Mom? Can you help me to assist me? Is there any way we can do it? So I asked, I tried to reach out to a few people and ask, maybe can we support him in getting his laptop if we just give him the fiat and we get him to pay us in Lumi. But I didn't get much joy from that. So I was advised by one person, and I have to give him so much gratitude for that. He advised me, and it's something that I kind of always have done, but I weren't sure if I could do it in relation to the Lumi. So when he said to me, why don't you just go ahead and do that? And I thought, yeah, crowdfunding. It was Theo Chambers. I don't even think he's in here, but I just want to give him some shout outs and props for just prompting me and saying, something, Mariama, you can do that, go and do that and see what happens. So I did. And it turned out to be quite a success because a lot of people gifted fiat currency in exchange for the equivalent in Lumi. Obviously, there was a little small fee charged on it because some people, when we had to send the money once it was paid, there was a fee charged by the PayPal. I had to send it by PayPal. But then now that I'm home now with Lumi Africa UK Diaspora and we have the infrastructure, we have created now a platform on Lumi Africa, and it is there that can basically do all the transactions. Tammy Marseille is going to explain more on that because she's more on the technical side. She's the one that creates the systems that does this type of work. And we can now get our people, if they want to put their fiat onto the platform for whatever causes that come up, social causes or anything that it can be used for, and then they can get the equivalent of that into their Swiffin wallet accounts. And that would happen even before the recipient got their laptop or their phones or whatever it is they need. Mostly for people with businesses, because we're trying to help people to use their credit lines, but we'll go into more detail with that at a later date. But that is basically the main ethos, to basically trade your fiat in exchange for Lumi. All right. And there's going to be many opportunities to invest and receive Lumi. I've done that myself, and I've received Lumi for various different things that I've, made my own investments. I've said, okay, I'll assist with paying for this, but you're going to have to give me Lumi in exchange. So nobody gets anything for free out here. It's all paid for, but we're trying to build up an ecosystem where we're all trading in Lumi, buying and selling in Lumi. That's the whole point. So that by the time we spin around, by next year or something, we're all trading in Lumi. We've got our businesses set up. We're accepting Lumi for our businesses. If we're doing fundraising for our youth and community organizations, whether in Africa or the diaspora, we're doing it and we're raising funds and we're getting them to our people. Obviously, until the infrastructure is set up, physical infrastructures are set up for us to go in and collect Lumi for whatever we want, whether it's in banking institutions. We've got the Lumi exchange platform right now until those systems are fully put in place. This is what we're offering here to our members. In order to access that, you would have to become a member, and only Swiffin account holders will be able to access the Lumi exchange platform. You have to become a silver, a gold, or platinum member to do that on our website. All that information is on our website. And you can also email Lumi Exchange at Lumi Africa if you want some more information. And you submit, but there's a form right now. I believe there's a form there right now that can give you access to that. It's all on our website, so all that information's there. And anybody that wants to ask after today, I'm going to do the Q&A in one moment, but anybody else that wants to ask any questions, you can always join our Telegram group that we have, Lumi Africa UK Diaspora. I'm sure our moderators added the link in the chat, so everyone look out for that. And I just want to thank everybody for listening to my presentation. And I've got, 10 minutes. I'm going to open the floor. our host, is it okay for me to start taking questions? Let me just stop sharing the screen for one.
Definitely, definitely. Thank you ever so much, Mariama, for your
thank you. I don't know who that is clapping, but whoever that is, thank you.
That was me.
Oh, was it you? Okay, I didn't know. Okay, it's a pleasure.
It was a great presentation, and it's always good to know your foundation in regards to where you're coming from, so we can move forward. So there are a few hands up, and thank you for those who made their comments in the chat. So we'll just go straight into it. So the first person I see right now is Frederick's hand.
Frederick, unmute your mic, Frederick.
Good day. Thank you so much, my leader, for the presentation. It was very, very epic. Thank you so much.
You're so welcome. You're so welcome.
Yeah. So now my question is, I've got this sweeping app and I decided to log in using my email and my password to know my basic information, whether is my account status approved or not. So I noticed my account status is pending. And I just want to know if will this stop me from getting my wallet by the 28th of every month? Just want to know what will happen.
All right. In answer to your question, Frederick, no, it won't stop you. Even though your account's pending, it's normally just for them to check that all your details and your information is in order. And if they weren't, they would contact you to let you know that. But I've had a few accounts, people that I've signed up, and they've been pending for weeks and weeks. And I noticed the other day that everyone has been approved. So it does take time, and their team is such a hardworking team in the Swiffin help desk. So, but they'll get round to everybody. And how long have you had it registered, did you say, Frederick?
I registered in April.
Right. Well, I suggest, I mean, there's going to be a section on this, actually. Is it possible that when the next speaker comes on, you can put that question to her, because she can answer that? Is that okay? She'll be able to tell you what to do, because I want, there's just quite a few hands up and I've got a little bit of time. Yeah, it's gone into it. So the next speaker, Xander, she'll be able to explain that to you fully, what you need to do.
Okay, no problem.
All right, thank you for that. Remember to put your hand up when she comes on. All right.
I was going to say anything technical, you can definitely put in the chat, because Xander and Dek are on board to answer those questions as well, if you want a quick answer. So the next person would be Junior with their hand up.
All right. Thank you very much for the wonderful presentation. I am happy to be part of the program. I think it's very, very exciting. But here is actually my suggestion. I'm not sure that there are maybe some other programs maybe rolled out to ensure that Lumi reaches out to as many people as possible in a very short space of time. So I'm in actually a marketing space myself. So I was wondering for this program to basically accelerate and reach out to more people quicker. Because I'm aware that at the moment we cannot be able to exchange our Lumis into fiat. So my at the back of my mind, I'm asking myself if it's possible that maybe the people who are responsible to ensure that the program becomes a success maybe come up with a program whereby people who are willing to share the gospel and go out to the people, maybe for an example, maybe one person reaching out to 250 people in 1 month, maybe try to increase the Lumis, and maybe portion of it can be able to be exchanged to fiat so that there could be motivation, because at the moment there are no places except for our platform where we can buy, but people need to see value. People need to see that Lumi can become, is as good as fiat, just that we are now going to the digital age. So I'm not sure if there are such programs, because I believe with that strategy, maybe to incentivize and enabling people who are speaking to maybe be able to exchange a portion as a reward to say thank you for sharing this message to this number of people this month. You can be able to exchange maybe this portion of your Lumi this month into fiat for them to be motivated, because at the moment they will not find any excitement if Lumi is still Lumi. We understand what we are headed and where we are going. I'm not sure if my opinion is being understood. Thank you, guys.
Junior Mafoyane, I fully, myself and my team, we fully understand where you're coming from. Guess what? Can somebody go on our website and just get the link for the members page, just for the members page? We have a program that we're about to launch very soon. There's two. One is for our memberships. I just mentioned it in the presentation. I don't know if you saw it when I said about the gold, the silver, the gold, and the platinum membership. Now, I didn't go into too much detail about that because my partner is going to come and do her presentation after, and she will be going into detail, and she will be showing you our website and exactly how these things are working. We have two incentives. We have an affiliates program, right? That's for people that are very serious like yourself. I can hear the way you're speaking, that you're very serious, and you have teams. And there are people that are already working under Lumi Africa UK Diaspora that have teams like what you're describing. They're working with them. And the way in which you'll be able to receive fiat right now as an incentive is that our membership program, for example, and our affiliates program, if you sign people up, you've got to be a merchant or a business to do it. But once you sign people up, or an agent even, once you sign people up and you help them to become members on our platform, you will get 20% of that back into your own account in fiat, because the payments will be taken in fiat, because we did take that into consideration. And it's a strategy that we've come up with. We know, now you've just even confirmed that even more, that this strategy is going to work to assist our people to bring some balance until all the infrastructures, as I said, are set up in the physical and digitally. Does that answer your question, Junior?
Yeah, I think you did answer my question. It's only that I will have to wait to get that info, because that is what I was waiting for, and I was hoping to basically hear about the program, because I believe that it will work best and it will accelerate the reach that we can make towards, to have as many people as possible to have Lumi and understand the concept, because that is what Bitcoin did as well, to reach out to as many people. There were programs that were incentivizing people. Yeah. So I think I'm happy. Thank you.
And Junior, one last thing, because I've got a few more minutes. I've got a couple of more people to take, but please go and have a look at our website and do your own research and then become a member. Like, have you got an agent or a merchant account yourself?
Yeah, I just got one. I think it was last week. I registered last week. Yeah. So, but I'm still learning. I think there is still more information that I still need to grasp as much as possible, because of, I think some of the things I'm learning when I attend Zoom meetings, like today, I'm learning a lot. So yeah.
Oh, this is just the beginning. My section's just the beginning. Hold tight. The rest is to come. But thank you for your question. And who's next now?
Thank you. We have Valerie. Valerie's next. Could you unmute?
Valerie.
Yeah, hi, Mariama.
Hi,
Thanks for the
Valerie.
presentation. Hiya. Right, I was just thinking, what happens after 2023? What is the plan? What is the goal for after 2023 when the stimulus payment stops?
Well, you see what we're doing here, trying to galvanize what our brother Junior just said a minute ago about, getting our people, as many of our people signed up as possible, people who own businesses, people who provide services. The plan from where I'm standing, there must be an even bigger vision, because the people that created it, they have got plans. But right now, this is the culture that we're dealing with right here with the Lumi Africa UK Diaspora culture right now. Within our culture, our aims and objectives and our mission and purpose is to get as many of our people. If you saw the presentation that I did, I don't know if you were in the room when I did it, showing the population of the diaspora, what the diaspora is, who it represents. Our mission and purpose is to actually get as many of those people registered and trading, if they're businesses, trading, buying, selling, trading a Lumi to build the value. That is what one of the main ethos is, what we are all about at Lumi Africa. And that's what our main goal is, to get everybody signed up, get them trained, but we've got to train everybody to be able to speak the language of money, trade, finance, business, import, export, and if they don't have any ideas of what they want to do, then we can assist. And we've got other people that do similar work with us, that once they become affiliated with us, then we can all work together. There's so many different ways that we're going to build. That's what it's about. By 2023, the goal is that we would have built ecosystems. That's one of the main things that we do here at Lumi Africa UK Diaspora. We're looking at building ecosystems to house all of these entities and have networks. That's what, if you look at our website, it's showing you what our plans are. We're laying them out, moving from now into the future. This is why we've created this infrastructure, because we're still building on it. It's not completely done. So please don't expect like overnight, okay, everything's working great. No, not yet. We're still building. We're human. We're not AI robots and all that, not yet anyway. So we're just doing the best that we can with what we have right now, and making sure that all of you are aware of what's going on, why we're here and what we're doing. So does that answer your question from this perspective? If you want to know more, I'm going to just say to you, if you want to know more, there's always a bigger, wider summits. The people, the creators of the Lumi and the African Kingdoms Federation, so they have one every Monday as well, talking about the visions going forward. But right here, the only visions that we can talk about in detail are the visions that we have for our people in Africa and the diaspora. So I hope that answers your question, Valerie.
It does indeed. Thank you, Mariama.
You're welcome.
Brilliant. Thank you, Valerie.
How much time have I got left, Caramel?
Well, we don't, but we have two more questions.
Okay.
So we're going to go Anna, and then we're going to go Eddie iPhone, who is physically raising his hand.
All right then, Anna. Welcome.
Hi, greetings.
Greetings.
I got in like 5 minutes after the time you're supposed to start, so I'm not sure what I missed. But I have like 5 questions though. I'll try to make it quick. So one, I'm concerned about the value of the US currency dropping and what guarantees there is where that is concerned. 2, I want to know if you could exchange the Lumi currency, because you said it's backed by gold, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's, okay. I won't ask that question. I think it's because I'm trying to understand the platform that you have, and where basically it's another platform that I've been on before, where you could have exchanged it for the gold, for physical gold. Is that a platform that you all will be considering?
As yet, I've not heard about that, but anything right now, anything is possible. So I can't exclude that, but I can't say that that's what's happening. Like I said to our sister before, all I can speak about is what Lumi Africa UK Diaspora is here to do. And as I said, there's bigger summits, that type of question. There's a bigger summit that happens every Monday. We post it in our group every Monday, and you can go and speak directly to the creators of the Lumi, the creators of the Swift platform, Empress Sheba Ra, you know, the African Kingdoms Federation, she's the head, you know, of it, and get certain questions like that answered. I'm not sure if I know much about what you were talking about there, the currency. And you asked, the first question you said is about what if the US dollar goes down? Is that really our concern? Like, that's not our currency. The only currency we're concerned with here is the Lumi. The US dollar is a fiat currency that's just that. It's just backed by air. It's backed by nothing. It's on its way out. So if it goes down, better for us, because then that means we'll have to start trading fully and full-time with our own currency. Do you think that's a bad thing, Empress?
No.
Yeah. And
okay, so the next thing is, I wanted to know, is it only digitally you can access the this currency, or can you have it physical?
It's on its way to being accessible in a physical way. It is already in Jamaica, because I've seen physical currency. I've asked some of my family to send me some. They still haven't yet, but I did put a request in for my physical Lumi, you know, and but I'm still waiting. But then in it, there is physical Lumi in Jamaica, because as I said earlier, the central bank, solar bank of a Congo, that's where it started. There will be, I mean, I was looking at the website the other day, today actually, the Eco6 website, that's what they're working on right now. It's a work in progress right now to roll out the physical currency as well. So we've got digital, and look out for the physical. That's all I can say. And I can't tell you a date, but if I was you, as I said, let's just keep listening to our weekly summits and see what happens there, and then what the announcements are, because every week they have different announcements happening about the advancement of the Lumi. Right now, all I can speak to is what we're doing over here. So I hope that answers your question, Empress.
Yeah, yes, it does. Do you plan on having a credit card attached to the Lumi platform?
What, our platform? Or
yeah.
Our platform, well, that's something that, like I said, we're always looking at new systems, and as and when things develop for us technically, when we're looking at technical systems that can assist our people and advance our people economically, practically as well. We'll always be announcing them right here. Like today, we've got one announcement today. So hold on to your seats, it's coming up. And yeah, my partner, she's going to be telling you a whole lot more about the Lumi Exchange platform. I'm sure she's going to cover our membership and our affiliates program. So yeah, listen up for that. All these questions you're asking, we've got them for you. We've got them, the answers. So thank you for your questions.
Okay.
Is that okay?
So yeah, that's it for now. I would just well, I'll be here looking on to further information.
You can still ask questions when the second speaker comes on. I mean, the third speaker.
Okay, no problem. So that's it for now for me.
Yeah, but as for the card, it's something that we're definitely having talks about. It's something that's come up with us anyway. So you're along the right lines, my sister, my empress. So thank you for your questions. And finally,
Thank you, Anna. So the last person for this section is Eddie iPhone. If you could unmute, please. And Janice, just before Eddie asks his question, if you could remember your question, and we'll definitely get you in the next section. Thank you. Eddie, are you around?
Yes, I am indeed.
Perfect.
Greetings, everyone. Eddie Capone from London. And thank you very much for an excellent presentation.
You're welcome.
I definitely would like to get involved in this because it's such a wonderful idea. It's been a long time coming. The key point that I would like to really hope and pray that you've got a strategy for is to how you intend to combat the major economies in the world, because they're not going to take this lightly, because this is a very, very serious threat to major economy around the world. And we saw what happened to the last person that tried this, Colonel Gaddafi. And therefore, you know, they're not going to lie down, you know, especially with the major banks, you know, your Barclays, you name them, the major banks around the world, you know, they're not going to take this lightly, because this is a threat to their own livelihood and development. So please tell me you've got some kind of strategy that will at least attempt to look at how we can defend ourselves. That is not, I'm not throwing a poison chalice in the mix, but also says with this great idea and such great enthusiasm. And I really do hope and pray that we do get the diaspora around the world, because we're always looking at numbers. And yes, we have the numbers. And what we need is the skills, not just the economic skills. We need the political skills. We need soldiers. We need warriors. Because when these people come at us, they're going to come at us with everything they've got.
Right. Can I just intervene right there, Eddie? Because remember, like I said, we are just one section of the wider, picture of the Lumi, right? There's a whole economic six region. We're just one tiny little spot, raindrop in this whole spectrum of what's going on, the meetings and different initiatives that are happening. Lumi Africa UK Diaspora is just one little raindrop. Now, I can't give you all the solutions to all what you're saying, but I'm going to just keep it really simple and just first of all let you know. First of all, I was born to my mother and father, and nobody else was involved in that process but my mother and father, number one. Number two, when I came out, yes, they made me into a bond for X amount of trillion ounces of gold with a birth certificate, which I wasn't aware of. But guess what? I got the power to take myself out of that wardship because I'm learning all about it. Number three, I grew up in the Caribbean partly in my life. And I remember going to my neighbors, not with money, and I didn't remember seeing money. They needed some grapefruit. My mom said to me, go and take the grapefruit to Auntie Teresa. I said, okay, mummy, pick up my tomatoes and my carrots while you're at it. So I gave Auntie Teresa the grapefruit. She gave me the carrots and the tomatoes, or tomatoes, because we're speaking different languages. All right. And there was not 1 cent or dollar involved in that transaction. So if I decide that I want to pay for my groceries from my next door neighbor with a bucket of rain, can someone kill me for that? No. Even if the creator of the Lumi decided that he'd had enough and all we had was what we've got, nobody can tell us how to interact and transact with each other unless we allow it. If I decide I'm not going back to my bank tomorrow to pick up any money, that's my choice. Again, remember, it's all contracts. We enter into contracts. We're learning here. The world is becoming brighter and lighter and more awakened. We're learning about how we contract ourselves. I'm not saying that going into and registering for our Lumi wallet is not a contract, but guess what? You've got to know in what station you're accessing it. I'm accessing my Lumi as a sovereign being, but I'm using what we call my straw man or my estate to do business. Hence why my name is in capital letters. A lot of our people don't understand how these things work, but we'll get there. But this part of the process is the part that we are dealing with here, is to make sure our people get into what they need to do to access the Lumi, all right? Digitally, we can decide how we want to proceed with it. And guess what? I still even feel that even if tomorrow they decided, right, we're going to shut down all your systems, we're so bright, we're so vibrant, we're such natural inventors. We can create our own currency like this in your own local community. See, wherever you live in the UK, I don't know what your community is, but in your own community, what do we have as Caribbean people? Let me just give you one example. As Caribbean people, we have what you call partner or susu, right? That is an economic system that we used since the 1950s when we came to this country to buy houses, to pay to go home to build our houses, to feed our families. There was no other agents involved in it. Yes, we use their currency, but it's not the way that it's not the currency that we were using, it's the way we used it. We used it as a people to empower ourselves with our own creation called Susu. And we've been using that system. And I know it comes from Africa because they have it in Africa. I've spoken to my partner, Tammy, about the same thing. She says, oh, we have it here too. So it's part of our DNA. We are a people, we're resilient, we're resourceful. No one can stop it or block it. This is just the physical output. The Lumi is just the physical side of it. But it goes so deep, like I said, it goes to the core of our mother, our wombs. I come from my mother. Nobody has no engagement but the Most High in that. No one can tell me how I'm going to build wealth in my family. And no. So that's just my personal perspective. But I hear where you're coming from. And I know what happened to
respect,
Gaddafi. I know what happened to Gaddafi. I know all of that. But
okay, let me just take you back in one point. I mean, I totally agree and on board with you with everything that you've said, because I've experienced that. Right. I'm a Jamaican. I came here when I was 13, and I came from a family that was empowered. So therefore, I am an empowered person. There we go. And, I don't really depend on others to really tell me what I can and cannot do. But I'm also saying, with the whole thing of partners, right? That's my parents was in partners in 1959. All right. That's how they bought their own house.
There you go. So I'm not lying. At least people can see the truth.
That was not, the partner was not a threat to the major system. And all I'm saying to you, brother, I would very much like you to put this across the wider aspect of the organization to look into the whole aspect that we have a strategy that will try and deal with or combat the major world economics, because these guys don't take threat lightly, especially when it comes to economics. And we are on a major breakthrough here.
But it doesn't have to be a threat. If they come on board and say, okay, we'll take Lumi from you in our shops or wherever you are, that's not a threat. That it shouldn't even be a threat. I don't even see it as a threat because everyone can be part of, because it's our currency is global. So why should
it's going to destroy the dollar and the pound?
But it's already dying.
All of these
dead.
major
But they're already
currencies.
dead, as we know.
They will fall under the bus.
But anyway, my brother.
Eddie,
okay,
I'm
thank
so
you.
sorry. I'm going to have to, just because it's getting into a bit of a discussion right now, which is not a problem. We can have that at the end if we've got a bit more time, but we're running over to the next speaker. So
okay, thank you.
If I could cut short just for now, and we can pick it up a little bit later on, if that's okay.
Thank you, Eddie, for your question.
Thank you, Eddie.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, Mariama, and for everybody in their questions. I hope that's given everybody a bit more of an insight. So we did have scheduled to introduce Xander, our team member, who would be speaking about how you can access your Lumi, the SWIFT registration, and the Lumi Africa registration portal. But unfortunately, we've had a bit of a connection. So we're going to go straight on to our next speaker, which is Tammy Maze, and she will be speaking on how to make the Lumi work for you. So I'm just, without no further ado, we'll pass you over to Tammy. Thank you.
Come.
Greetings and grand rising to everyone on the platform today, and thank you for joining us. Today, I will not be having any presentation. I'd rather tell you stories instead. My presentation has been replaced by the announcement of the most monumental moments we have in the history of Lumi. Well, today I just want to be the bearer of good news. We've got lots of good news, and I'm sure that some people might have heard a little bit of what we are bringing today, and also what has been done this past week. And their ears might be itching to know what exactly it is that we have on the Lumi agenda. So, well, there is an island, a tropical island that is 9 degrees north of the equator. It is actually an uplifted portion of the continental Asia. It's called the Pacific Island of Yap. In this island, they used to have what is called a rice stone. This rice stone was actually a very valuable mineral that they used at the time, say equivalent to a gold, and they used to use that as their currency was actually backed by that rye gold. But now that rice stone was so heavy that it was a nuisance, or it was a hassle to move it from one place to the other. For example, if I have to come and buy something from you in exchange of that rice stone, which means I will have to carry it from wherever I carry it from to give it to you in exchange of what I want from you. That became much of a hassle. So the traders, what they did, they decided to take the stone and put it in a fixed place and create what is called a promissory note against that. So now they used to use this promissory note as a way, as a form of payment. Now here was the problem. The problem was that this promissory notes, now there were more promissory notes printed that could not be backed by this rye gold. So now that caused some kind of an inflation, because now there was too much money and too little goods. And you know what happens now when we have inflation? It means that to balance that out, some people need to invest and some people need to save. But now what happens when when some people invest and some save? The wealth gets concentrated in very few hands. It gets concentrated in few hands, so which means very few people now have this concentrated wealth. And this is what we need to learn from as we introduce, or as we give birth to Lumi. Wow, we are talking about the past, but look at what happened in America when it was colonized by Britain. You know, British, what they did is they introduced pound in their colonies, and they made it illegal for America to print their own money. so they couldn't print their own money. But now, after America received their own freedom, what they did is they created and they printed their own money. And this is the good part. What happened is they called it a US dollar. And that US dollar, it became widely used as a currency because it had vast trade and also reserves, gold reserves. It was backed by gold. And it was also used as a trustworthy base, tax base. But unfortunately, they printed now more notes than the gold they have in the reserves, which caused inflation. Why am I telling you all of this? We are here talking about the birth of Lumi as a currency, central bank digital currency, and we don't want to repeat the same history that happened in the past. We need to use our Lumi in a way that's going to be distributed evenly to everyone. We don't want to see this same currency concentrated in very few hands. I always say this in my presentations because I need us to understand when we're dealing with a currency, these are the fundamental things we need to understand. Wealth is concentrated in banking, in money, like capital is concentrated in banking, in retail, manufacturing, health, what we call pharmaceuticals. Now, as we keep receiving our stimulus every single month, we only have 3 years to make sure that we build something of value. We build fundamental foundations so that we can survive beyond the 3 years. How are we going to do that? Well, I just talked about the birth of Lumi. We know our mother, Africa, is heavily pregnant. Unfortunately, it is also severely constipated. Now here we are dealing with two contrasting conditions. Where do we start? Well, we have a mother that wants to give birth. How do we help this mother give birth? Imagine a mother filled with joy, joy of seeing a new life coming to life. She is filled with pain, labor pains, but now the joy of bringing this magic of giving birth to this life surpasses all the pain. Now, this is where we are at this moment. Our mother Africa is pregnant, but now, when I say our mother Africa is pregnant, some might be thinking, but Africa has given birth already to Lumi. Wrong. Africa has not given birth to Lumi. Oh, Africa has not given birth yet. But now we will ask ourselves, if we say Africa has not given birth yet, or maybe has it given birth now to the conversion of the Lumi? Wrong. According to Chief Timothy McPherson, the actual birth is not the Lumi. The actual birth is not the conversion of the Lumi, but the actual birth is the transformation of the global African family on an international stage. So Lumi Africa has positioned itself to be the midwife that is only laying foundational platform to the transformation that awaits this birth. So we as Lumi Africa, UK diaspora, we have positioned ourselves to lay that foundation so that when that transformation starts, we are ready. And that is why today I said, I am here to make some monumental announcements. These are announcements that are going to change the face of Lumi as we know it. And these are the kind of announcements that are going to help us propel ourselves further into the future and getting ourselves prepared for what it is to come. And we really need to position ourselves, for that. Today, it is my pleasure to announce that Lumi Africa, together with its banking partners, will be introducing the Lumi Exchange platform. I heard one of our people in the audience, Junior, who actually was asking about how do we see the Lumi in terms of against other currencies and the conversion and all of that. Well, this platform talks to that. But there is one thing I would like to make clear. The Lumi Exchange platform is not about conversion of the Lumi. We do not want to dilute our currency. We do not want to dilute the value of our currency by exchanging it for anything that does not have value. Our currency should be where it is and grow, if possible, from here. So the Lumi Exchange platform is a platform that's going to work, or that's going to make our Lumi work for us. This is not the time to wait to be given permission to engage in the transformation stage, but it is the time to take the center stage and attract attention. That time is now. And that time is here. Lumi is here. So now we are not asking for any permission to engage in the transformation agenda. We have the tool, we have the resources, we have the skills, we have the diaspora. The continental Africa now has the support of the diaspora to take this further. We know that every birth has bleeding. We know that transformation will also have its own bleeding, and we need to be ready for that. All these years, we have been crying of having this treasure box, but no golden key to open it. Lumi Exchange is activating that code so that our golden key can open our golden path to this transformation era. And with every transformation, we can't run away from the fact that we will bleed. Even the butterfly, when it transforms from a caterpillar and when it's getting out of its cocoon, it bleeds. But after bleeding, it takes on its beautiful colors, and it will definitely attract the bees. So as we transform after our bleeding and as we bleed, we will put on our colorful colors as well. Unfortunately, we will attract the bees that will come and sting and suck in that sweetness. We are ready for that. Now back to the Lumi Exchange platform. Let me just share my screen so that you can have a better understanding of what this Lumi Exchange is all about. I'm just going to give you a brief. I'm not going to go into detail because we are also running against time. Let me just share my screen. And I hope that everybody can see it. You can put some thumbs up if you can't, or if you can. Can maybe one or two confirm that they can see my screen?
Can see it.
Yes, sister, we can see it.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, I can see it.
Oh, good. Great, thank you. All right, so now this is actually our website. If you go to our website, you will see this. As you see, we are planning to launch Lumi Exchange on the 30th of July, 2021. We only have 41 days to go, and this is going to be one of the propellers of the transformation that we are looking for. You know, as I said in the beginning, that we cannot wait to be given permission to engage in our transformation. It is our responsibility. We have been given the Lumi. We are not going to wait for the creators of the Lumi we're not going to fold our hands. You know, we need to work with them. We need to show that we appreciate what they have brought to us. And this platform is going to make it possible then that we engage in the transformation. So what can we expect? I'm just going to give you a brief. I'm not going to go into detail with it. What are we going to expect from this Lumi Exchange platform? One, we are going to expect compliance because we are talking about money, and we need to know that we conform to the regulations and the compliance. So the Lumi Exchange platform will be managed by a regulated financial institution, which is currently duly represented in the UK, in Canada, in the US, and in Africa. So we are going to rest assured that we are safe in terms of the regulations, and also that we do not cross the line. And secondly, we are going to expect the investment exchange. Now, this is what is going to happen here in this exchange. One, we are not converting the Lumi for any other currency. We are activating the Lumi to work for us. So what's going to happen is that if for example, I have the business credit line, the 10,000 credit line, and I want to buy equipment, I want to buy some supply to empower my business. I get onto the platform and I lodge my request to buy a certain equipment. Now we have a lot of people here waiting to get their hands on the Lumi, to buy the Lumi. So what they will going to do now, some person will come and buy your Lumi. Now that transaction, that exchange, they are not just buying your Lumi, they are not going to, you get into the platform, you load your request, I get into the platform and I say, I am going to help you buy the equipment that you want in exchange for your Lumi. But that Lumi, I still have to come and use it back into the same platform because it has to circulate within the platform. And I know it might not be easy to understand right now, but as we go, we are going to have these bi-weekly summits where we will go further and deeper into it. It's also going to have a crowdfunding feature where, you know, in different countries, we call it different names. In South Africa, we call it Stokvel. I know in the UK, my partner said they call it partners. You know, in your country, you might be calling it something else, but it's where a group of people get together and put money so that they can help the next person, and that money rotates. So we are infusing that into the crowdfunding feature so that if I want to start a business and I do not have enough capital, then there is a community that is ready to say, we will contribute in your business. And then the following month is going to be another person's turn. And we are also going to have a feature of trading where the Lumi members will be allowed to engage in the peer-to-peer trading, currency-to-currency trading. When I say currency-to-currency trading, that is where I have the Lumi, I want to buy products or I want to buy equipment, and you have the fiat. So you will contribute your fiat so that I can go and pay for my equipment, and then I will give you the Lumi. But now I will get the Lumi at a discounted price because there should be an incentive for me to take your Lumi I'm taking your Lumi because you're giving it to me at discounted price. Unfortunately, that is the price we need to pay for not being able to wait until our Lumi is fully saturated and it is accepted in some parts of where we stay. The reason why we are introducing this platform is that a lot of us are sitting with the Lumis, and it's very difficult to go and convince other people to get the stimulus because they don't see it doing anything. But now, if we are using it to empower ourselves, then it's easier to go and get other people because now they can see that, oh, this Lumi is working. So my neighbor's business has been empowered because of the Lumi. So we need to use it in a way that empowers us so that we can also be able to build the ecosystems we want to build. We can also be able to partake from the transformation agenda we say we want to be part of. And yeah, so basically, this is it in a nutshell on the Lumi Exchange platform. Yes, I will be taking some questions after I finish with my presentation. And now there is another announcement that I just have to make. If you remember well, when I started my presentation, I said Africa is heavily pregnant and yet severely constipated. Now, what do I mean by that? Many of you, or a few of you, would know a book by the name of Eat Right for Your Type. It's written by Dr. Peter Dadamo. Well, Eat Right for Your Type. Sometimes we have so many ailments, not because of the diet that we eat. We might be eating healthy, but that diet might not be the right one for our blood type. Now, the reason why Africa is constipated is because it has been fed a lot of food that is not right for its blood type. So it is up to us to saying we need to purge all of that so that we can research her, her condition so that she can be in a state to be operational again. It is our responsibility then to look for the right diet for our mother Africa. And we have the ingredients, we have our Lumi. We need to put together all of that so that we make sure that we feed our mother Africa the right diet for her. And in a way to do that, it will need our collective effort. It will need the inclusion and the diversity from all our cultures to form one Lumi culture and work together towards building these platforms and these ecosystems and be part of the transformation agenda that we are looking for. And for those who are interested to be part of our Lumi Africa program, we do have an affiliate program. I am not going to go deeper into it as well because there's another announcement coming after this. We do have an affiliate program for those who want to be agents and assist in driving this work forward. But before I get there, I need to demystify something that has been going around here. I just need to make clear that when registering people on the Swift platform, anyone who is doing that right now, we all need to know that it is free. It is free to register people on the Swift platform. We cannot charge people for that. We cannot, because now if we charge people to get into the Swift platform to get a free gift, we will be inhibiting, a lot of people from getting into the system and expand. Remember, we have 1.7 billion people that needs to come and partake. We have $6 trillion that needs to be distributed. We cannot afford to have people that fall outside this gift. However, as Lumi Africa, we do have a membership-based program. And this membership-based program is for those people who are interested to have our benefits. No one is forced to take our membership. It is not compulsory. It is only for those who want to benefit for things like what I've just announced now, the Lumi Exchange program, the affiliate program. So the affiliate program comes with a compensation plan because we have paid membership plans. And as I mentioned that, I need people to understand that our paid membership plan has got nothing to do with the SWIFT registration. We as a company or as partners in Lumi Africa, we came together from different diverse backgrounds. We have different skills. We are offering different skills. We are into business development consultancy. We are into strategic planning. We are into IT development. We have put all those skills together, and anybody would appreciate that anything that needs to be built needs money. Unfortunately, now it will need fiat. So let's take it as a commitment from each and every one of us to contribute into a work that is done to transform and empower us. So this will need a work of the collective, a work of all of us to put in and work towards building what we call our own. As I said earlier, we are not going to sit and wait to be given attention to engage in this transformation agenda. We need to take the first step and take that center stage. So this is our time to do just that. Beyond 2023, we need to be able to look back and say, within these 3 years, we have managed to build a foundational platform that will create a living legacy, generational legacy for all the generations to come. And that needs sweat, blood, and money. And fortunately, as we will be introducing the Lumi Exchange program, we will be able to do just that, to build the Africa that we want. Let me get to the last announcement. We have summits here that are done by Her Imperial Majesty, the Queen of Sheba III, every Monday. And today, just now, I am going to make you listen to her message that she delivered on Monday in her summit. And we have been given special instructions by Queen of Sheba herself that she would like us to do an announcement to this group today to make sure that everyone in this group today knows that there are summits every Monday at 6 p.m. South Africa time that are held in her court. We will share the links, the Zoom links, immediately after this. So I just thought, let me give that message as we have been specifically instructed by Her Majesty Queen of Sheba. So allow me to let you listen to her message, which will take about 15 minutes. And then after that, I will gladly take in questions and answers. I will just share with you just now.
So our culture is a bit more than just
Hey, why not disconnect? I'm hurt.
What is important is that the kingdoms have been recognized within that culture. And based on that, some very interesting things has happened. And I had promised to explain that to you. First of all, a royal capital of the kingdom nations of Africa and the diaspora has been put in place. That's one for a clap, peoples.
Is there any visuals?
That is.
No, there is no visual. It's just audio. It's
Tammy, are you there? Seem to have lost her. While we're waiting for her to come in, can I just remind everybody, please, could you mute your mics? And if you do have any questions, could you please put it in the chat, and then we'll try to assist you as soon as possible. Let's come back in the room. Not at the moment. Mariama, are you around?
I am here, Caramel. Our sister might have got knocked off because I know we've been having some tech issues with South Africa of late as well, with the weather and everything, just like over here as well, funny enough, the weather. But that was that particular, that was from a last part of the Empress Sheba Ra Summit that happens every Monday. And anybody that's a member of the Telegram group, our Lumi Africa UK Diaspora Telegram group, please join, and we will be posting all the information to come to that summit, because it's a very summit where they make the big announcements about what's going to be happening. She was talking about an initiative that's going to be taking place, a grand one, in the Congo over the next, I think it's to 2045, where there's going to be an actual city called the Queen City in the Congo. A whole separate part of designated land where it's going to be a state-of-the-art city. I mean, move over Wakanda, that's all I can say on that. It's going to be a state-of-the-art city where there's going to be universities built. I mean, I don't know if everyone heard, because I saw somebody say that the audio was inaudible, but there's going to be a university built where obviously all our people can go from all over the world, can attend, and then lots of other things that are going to be happening there. It's going to be very futuristic and groundbreaking. That's all I can really say, because I'm not the professional. The best people to come and speak more on this are the ones in the summit groups, because the actual designers and the people like that are at these meetings every Monday. So one of her requests was that, yes, please invite our people here in this group. I know some people are only coming here for the first time and have not been here before, but I would have hoped that everybody's happy so far with what they've seen. And I'm not sure what's happened to our sister Tammy, so I don't want to waste any more time. If there's any questions that I can answer, I will definitely answer them. I mean, I'm not as technical as Tammy, but I do know everything that we're doing, because a lot of it comes from, you know, collective effort. So definitely. I see Pauline, you've got your hand up, Pauline. Sorry. Yeah.
Pauline, if you'd like to unmute, can we keep it down to one question per person, just because if we can get Tammy back in, it'd be great to...
Yeah, please, I'd like Tammy to answer it, but anyway, go ahead.
No problem, no problem. Thank you very much. That Sister Mariana and Sister Tammy, absolutely fantastic what you are doing. Absolutely fantastic. I can't express it enough.
Doing our best with what we have.
No, you're gifted. You're using your gift. Good for you. What I wanted to ask you was in regards to the Lumi exchange. Now, I know you said about the fund crowdfunding. That's one element which I understand. I would contribute to whatever whatever the crowdfunding is, and I will be repaid in Lumi. Right? Am I correct? Yes.
Yes.
Right. Or is there another way that I can use my fiat money
and buy Lumi?
Yes, there is. That's the trading platform.
So
yes,
I can do both.
Yes, you can.
Okay. Is there a limitation as to how much I can trade?
There will be. Yeah, there will be limited. We can't just allow everybody to just,
No, that's why I'm asking.
Yeah, there will be. It's going to be managed, and that will be set out once it's up and running. But yeah.
Right. However, I'll have to register.
And remember also, Pauline, that not everybody. Remember, we're not all millionaires in Lumi. So
that's why I asked. I mean, even if I had like a £50 in fiat.
Yes.
Yeah. Why am I giving it to them, and I can change it into my Lumi to assist me to trade?
Absolutely. And there is enough of us to say that we're billionaires, because we are billionaires. Remember that. Collectively, we're billionaires, right?
Exactly. And it's nothing different to what the Indians do and all the other nations where they send their money home. I'm sending my money home.
Absolutely. Give thanks.
Plain and simple as that. The quickly second thing I wanted to just say is to Brother Eddie iPhone, when he was talking about the other institutions not going to like it. I am absolutely glad they're not going to like it. They're not supposed to like it. They've had us down for long enough. The banks are closing. If you look around, the banks are closing. Everyone is running to try and get the digital currency. If you look at the Bank of England's website, they're breaking their necks to try and get their digital currency. However, we are ahead of them because we're already in 150. Last time I checked, it was about 151 countries.
It's more than that. I think it's 154 now, Pauline.
Oh, is it?
Oh yeah.
There you go.
150 and breaking more ground.
Exactly. Yeah. 154 countries. Yeah. So it's supposed to be disruptive. Once we have enough amongst us, they cannot tell us how to spend our money or who to spend our money with. Like Sister Mariana said, yeah, we are the ones that's in control. We are the ones that have the power. So my brother Eddie, do not concern yourself with what they're going to do, because only we can change their mindset and they will come to us instead of trying to control us. I just want to put his mind at rest.
Oh, thank you, Pauline. Thank you ever so much for that. And I'm sure you have. And if you have any extra comments, please put it in the chat, and then we can respond that way. We're going to go to Rastafari Kingdom now. Next question. Thank you.
Yeah, greetings. I really wanted to address.
Greetings, Rastafari.
Yeah, I wanted to address the same issue the sister just finished with Brother Eddie there, because this is the fourth industrial revolution and it's gone digital. So this ain't like one time, you cannot refer with Gaddafi and those. This is a different kind of warfare that's happening now, And if you look into the foundation of it properly, it's empowered by the kingdoms of Africa. So this ain't no one-man story where this is a digital warfare, the fourth revolution. So you have to get with it, digitize it.
Give thanks, my brother. I'm gonna yield now because our sister Tammy's back in this building. So if there's any more questions, you're going to be directing them to Tammy Marseille right now. I was just standing in for a second until she got back. Tammy, are you here? Are you here, my sister?
Yes, I am.
Oh,
sorry.
But can the rest of the questions be directed here? Tammy can answer your questions. Thank you for your questions so far.
All right.
Do you want to unmute yourself? Is it Galaxy that was next for the question? Do you want to unmute yourself, Galaxy, and ask Tammy the question?
Yes, greetings.
Yes, Shane.
Greetings.
I don't think you can see you, Tammy. Are you okay? Well.
Yes, sister, you can go ahead and ask your question.
Yes, greetings. Yes. I would love to ask a question, and it's very simple. persons around in my organization here where I'm from in Jamaica is asking, because some of our people are members are entrepreneurs. They are asking about the Lumi, if we know about the PayPal account, if there be grants given for businesses, because you know many of our people, they do different things. Some are in roots, craft, or different things. They are saying they want I to ask a question on their behalf. What about grants for small businesses? You know, investment from the Lumi. This is my question. Give thanks. I'll wait the answer.
All right. Thank you for your question, Jane Jackson. Yeah, the Lumi has, besides the stimulus, the monthly stimulus that you receive every 28th of the month, we do have the credit line of 10,000 US dollars that is given to businesses or to those who have businesses. Yes, and you also talked about grants. Grants are a very specialized service that is offered by the Lumi. We do not offer it ourselves, but I guess if you go to Swiffen, they would be able to tell you what you need to have to be able to receive the grant. But yes, the 10,000 US dollar credit line is available as soon as your business is approved by Swiffen platform.
Okay, give thanks. And I just want to say, make an apology, you know. And, you know, I always have the heart of a child because, you know, so much rumors were going around. Brother Jonah Nigos, I heard the eye on the line. Give thanks for the eye, my brother. You know, I must make an apology because I did not understand much about the Lumi. So much negative things were going around. But now my eyes are being opened widely, more spiritually. So I'll apologize for was even hitting out against the Lumi, knowing that it is the currency now, economic currency, digital currency for the African family at large, both in Africa and the diaspora and wherever I and I people are. So I and I must apologize. I am Wolete Selassie, President of Charter 43, Ethiopian World Federation here in Jamaica. So I will apologize on this platform because, you know, I was a little bit being, what you would say, in ignorance, not knowing that this is the way forward for our economics. And I and I must thank my royal sister, the Queen of Sheba, you know, for such great effort and for such great works. And for you, my brothers and sisters, even on this platform Zoom meeting at this time, I just want to apologize. So I apologize, you know, hitting out against the Lumi in ignorance. And because my heart is being converted as a little child, I'll humble myself, you know, and apply more wisdom. So give thanks and praise. And it's a blessing.
Apology accepted.
Give thanks, my sister.
Oh, thank you, Galaxy A01. That was very nice. So Tammy, we have two other questions, but they can't put their hand up. So the first one is Della. Della, are you around? Could you unmute to ask your question? Okay, or Sydney. Is Sydney there to answer their question?
The Lord is my shepherd.
No. Okay.
Okay. Yes. How are you?
Oh, hello.
Hello. Greetings in the name of the Lord. How are you?
We are good, thank you. How are you?
Thanks, Mama Tammy. I'm here, man. Thank you very much for all the input and all the clarity that you are bringing along.
Thank you. You are muted, Mr. Della. Can you unmute yourself, please?
Okay. I can. Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can. Thank you.
Yes. My question is about the affiliate program, because what we're doing we actually spreading the word all over. Now, I just wanted to understand how this affiliate program kind of idea comes about, and how can one maybe be part of it, because we're taking these things now to greater heights, or the Lumi thing, and we are actually busy, and people are very much in high expectation as to how we're gonna maybe exchange the Lumi. So if you could help me with that one, I thank you.
All right. Just to summarize it, the affiliate program, it has 3 categories. First, we all know, if you're in the marketing space, we know that you cannot use a product, or you cannot go about telling people about the product that you have not used. And for you to use the product, you need to know exactly how it works so that you don't misrepresent the brand. We also know, and we are aware that people want to align themselves with the integrity of the brand. And also, to keep that integrity, you need full knowledge so that you do not misrepresent the integrity or dent the integrity of the brand. So what the affiliate program will do, first, there will be training for all the affiliate partners, and there will be categories. For example, we have the first level where you become an ambassador of the brand, and you are using the product yourself, and you just go and tell your friends and family about it. And there you will have to at least tell or invite 5 people. And once we have invited 5 people and registered 5 people on the Swift platform, then you are able to introduce those people, to Lumi Africa, so that they can benefit, from the benefit we have. So it goes in stages like that. And from there, you can be an associate, affiliate. And associate affiliate is where you are building your own community of these ambassadors, right? Because here it's more about building a team. That's how we grow. We build communities, we build teams, and that's how the systems will be built. And from there, you can be what we call a VLA, which is a virtual local affiliate. And that is where now those 5 ambassadors that you have are able to invite and register 5 of their own ambassadors, you see. So, but that we will be able to elaborate further on it, on the trainings that are specifically made for the affiliate programs, which we will make the date known as the time progresses.
Okay.
But you keep checking on our website to get more information on the affiliate program.
Okay. Okay. It's not no problem. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
You're most welcome. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Della.
Thank you.
Oh, it's Sydney. You are Della Sydney, so there isn't another question. Does anybody else have a question they'd like? Just real quick, Pauline in the chat has asked, how do we get info into what projects are available to invest in? Tammy?
All right, so Pauline's question, I would like to understand where it's asked from. For example, she's asking what projects are available for funding. Oh, the projects to invest in. Is she referring to the Lumi Exchange platform?
I think it's a general, because she hasn't specified.
Yes, I am, because that's where I saw your tabs, and one of them was the fund crowd, the other one was the Lumi Exchange, and the other one was investments. And I just want to know a bit more regarding the investments.
Okay, well, what we mean by investments basically is that, for example, you have fiat currency, right? And I have the Lumi. and I want to use the Lumi to go pay the supplier, and the supplier cannot take the Lumi. So now what you would have to do is you come into the platform and says, you know what, I can help you. I will pay the supplier, or I want to buy your Lumi. And now the investment comes in where you are buying the Lumi at a discounted rate so that you profit from the money or from the help that you have given to this next person. And as we go, very soon we will be introducing shares as well, where you will be able to invest in company shares, but that will be phase 2 of the platform. So the investment basically for now is just on the exchange of the currency and the currency to currency and the currency to commodity exchange in the market exchange platform. I'm not sure if I have answered you.
Yes, you did kind of, because I like to invest, and I prefer to invest in our own than to invest outside. And I was just wondering that if I'm going to invest in something, yes, I'm not going to invest for nothing. There's got to be a return and a benefit for me also. Let's keep it real.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
I want to know how I would get my return if I was to assist in and investing in a project, So that's the reason why.
Okay, for example, Pauline, you go and invest your fiat, right? Let's say it's $1,000 US. And in exchange, you are getting the Lumi at a discounted rate of 20 or 30%. I'm just making an example. So
Okay.
which means from your $1,000 US that you invested, you have a 30% profit or a 30% interest on it. That's an investment.
Okay, lovely. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, Pauline. Okay, so we're going to make the last two. William Dipthorpe, do you have a question that you'd like to ask?
Hi, greetings everyone, good people. We shouldn't be struggling to get people to register. Firstly, I want to know, do the African continents, African countries support this Lumi? Because if they do, then this ad or this announcement should be made on national radio or national TVs, just maybe once a month, that people must go and register for Lumi. Then we can get this done probably in a month or two. At least everybody's aware of it and can register. Now, I don't know if African countries, especially the southern part of African countries, are actually independent, because looks like they have to get some instructions before they allow this to happen or to say this. Now, the managers or the inventors of the Lumi should be taking that initiative and consult with government heads. Say, please announce this Lumi once a month on your radio, national TVs, once for our people, because this is for Africans. We shouldn't ask for permission from someone else that we want to do this, or can we do this? And obviously we know that the banking society, the current banking society, will not be interested or won't even entertain that. But we have to do things our own way, the African way. Is that possibility, Sister Ami?
Thank you so much for your question. Wow, you know what you're talking about is actually what is currently happening right now. Remember that Lumi, first and foremost, is a legal tender, right? That is issued by a central bank. And it is quite new, it's fairly new, it's only 7 months old. No, it's actually, yeah, hardly 7 months old. And there are inroads into that area where the creators of Lumi itself are going from country to country, introducing the Lumi in every country. Right now, I know that there's been something happening in some of the African countries where some presidents have actually agreed to take the Lumi as an official currency. And we should be hearing more of those announcements in the coming weeks. So that is happening already. I know that there is some information that has kind of leaked one of the African country already has signed and are ready and willing to take the Lumi as an official currency. So we will be hearing more of those stories in the next future times.
Good news, good news. Thank you, Sister Amy. Thanks very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you, William. So we're going to go with Jasmine, and then that will be the last question because that's the only hand that I see up. People have
Good
asked
evening.
Good evening, Ambassador Jasmine.
How are you doing? I just wanted to answer that William's question. You know, I'm here in Ethiopia and I'm using Lumi. So Lumi is being used in Kenya. I'm in Ethiopia. We're using it here amongst ourselves until we get it going. And also the Africa Financial Institute have accepted the Lumi as one of the trading currency for the Africa Continental Free Trade. It's really down to us as a nation now to keep on using it, keep on registering shops and businesses, hairdressers, barbershops, supermarkets, you know, the companies that we would normally use every day, that they will take Lumi. It is ours. And watching in the media around the globe, you know, all countries are going to go, cryptocurrency over the next few months. It's just that we as African, for once, we are ahead. You know, and it is ours. We're not going to be dependent on the colonials to give us a currency to work with that is a value to them, but no value to us, which is how it's always been. So, and it's a wonderful presentation that the sisters have done, and I really want to say thank you and well done. Thank you. So yes, Lumi's in Africa, at least here in East Africa anyway. Give thanks.
Give thanks. Thank you, Ambassador Jasmine. Thank you so much.
Well, I think that's all the questions. Thank you ever so much for all your questions. And Tammy, even though you got cut off on the last bit, the presentation, just congratulations on it. It was very, very, very informative, and I hope everybody did. I trust everybody did get their answers, their questions answered. You really drove home what Lumi Africa is about and what we're dealing with on this platform. And I want everybody to remember that it's not just about, Lumi has many arms and many tentacles and many people are getting involved. But this platform is strictly about what we intend to contribute and how we want to build our ecosystems. So I just want to say thank you ever so much for that. I learn every time I come onto this platform to hear about the Lumi, which is great. And Mariama as well, giving us the foundation of, you know, where it all started and how we can move forward, keeping our ancestors and everybody together as a community. So I'm going to end it there. Thank you to
Thank you, everybody. Thank you very much for coming, everyone.
And thank you to the team deck in the chat, giving us the information. Obviously, my name is Caramel. I've been the host for today. Have an amazing evening, everybody, and we will see you in 2 weeks' time.
Thank you, Caramel and the team.
Oh, you're more than welcome. Good night, all.
Yes, thank you very much. Good night.
Good night. Thank you.
Blessed love.
Good night.
Thank you.
Good night.
Good night.
Thank you. Thank
Good
you.
night. Good
Good
night.
night.
Bye.
Good night. Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Tommy, bye. Bye bye, Mr. Dupe. Bye.
Bye.
Sheba.
Bye.
Our team,
Bye bye.
here.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Bye bye. Goodbye.
Good night.
Good night.
I am bye.
Good night. Bye bye.
Goodbye.
Bye bye. Bye bye.
Thank you.